What's up, nigga? Hey, hey, get down.
You write something. You write something.
Old school. Gotta run down on them. Hey, hey, hey. Who's that in? Oh, that black. What's that? What's that? Spraying. Fuck around. Seven got that bitch now. That's around. Slip a whole 100 rounds. No. Okay. Green, baby. Get the fuck around. Get
He erased that last shit. All that. Play it back. Cause he's righteous, but he's not righteous. You feel me? Alright, B. Run it back, B. Run it back, baby.
That's that ad lib out.
No, I'm adding that one, but run ad lib back, baby.
old school. But shit. Go. Joe. Who's that in all that land? What? I need that. Man. Fuck around. Savage. Rah! Go get that girl. Get the fuck from around here crabbing. Hey.
I still don't like none of that shit, but who's that in all that blood? Alright, B, you erase all that shit. I'm gonna come back and do the ad lib later. You erase that. I'm gonna come back and do the ad lib later. I'm gonna go do it.
Ready?
Yeah.
Leon County, we got one. Whole Street, we got one. South City, we got one. Faux Foul, we got one. We got one. We got one. That 45, I got one. That Ski Mask, I got one. That Duct Tape, I got some. Leon County, we got one. Whole Street, we got one. South City, we got one. Faux Foul, we got one. We got one. We got one. That 45, I got one. That Ski Mask, I got some. That Duct Tape, I got some. Leon County, we got one. Whole Street, we got one. South City, we got one. Four foul, we got one, we got one, we got one. That 45, I got one. That ski mask, I got one. That duct tape, I got some. Leon County, we got one. Hope Street, we got one. South City, we got one. Four foul, we got one, we got one, we got one. That 45, I got one. That ski mask, I got one. That duct tape, I got some. Leon County, we got one. Hope Street, we got one. South City, we got one. Four foul, we got one. We got one, we got one. That 45, I got one. That ski mask, I got one. That duct tape, I got some. Leon County, we got one. Hope Street, we got one. South City, we got one. Four foul, we got one, we got one, we got one. That 45, I got one. That ski mask, I got one. That duct tape, I got some. Leon County, we got one. Coast Street, we got one. South City, we got one. Four foul, we got one. We got one, we got one. That 45, I got one. That ski mask, I got one. That duct tape, I got some. Leon County, we got one. Coast Street, we got one. South City, we got one. Four foul, we got one, we got one, we got one. That 45, I got one. That ski mask, I got one. That duct tape, I got some.
You should go over the got one.
Huh?
Go over the got one. We saying we got one. Just do the like the got one. Like layer over it.
Alright.
We got one. 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 We got. We got one. 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 I got one. I got one. I got some. We got one. 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 I got one. I got one. I got some.
Woo, it's hot as hell. I'm dropping heat. Hot shit, nigga. Why you butterbean ass nigga?
I got one. I got one. I got some. We got one. 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 I got one. I got one. I got some.
Second verse, let's go. Second verse, be the little flute. Feel me? Yeah.
Said she got a ball, nigga go to first state. I told the collar nigga, tell him bring a four way. Hand blow, so the nigga 138. I had a special saw, put a bitch in his face. Told him bug him a bust, nigga, that's real. Whole street count, kill before we get killed. Nigga gave me everything that he on though. Bitch that work now, blowing no joke. Before I made it to the west, caught another beat. Nobody wanna fan you, I ain't have shit.
Yeah. You start out.
Let go. Said she got a ball, nigga go to Florida State. I told the collar nigga, tell him bring a four way. Had blow, told a nigga 138. I had a special saw, put the bitch in his face. Told him, boss, I'm a butt, nigga, that's real. Whole street cut, kill before we get killed. Nigga gave me everything that he on, though. Bitch that work now, going on Joe. Before I made it to the west, caught another beat. Look what I would have found you, ain't have shit. Thought we in the slit, that with the clip. Went to the edge, run the fork, rolling like a bitch. Crib already know, I ain't got them all. If it's a big lit, good shit, you never ball. Robbing a nigga, I don't give a damn though. If it's a bulk in the door, then you gotta look. Better get the fuck around my city, bro. I ain't do it, but a nigga leave shitty, bro. You won't even fuck around in the air though. You better try giving all nigga elbows. I ain't got my that look just straight. But if
I fuck up on that same part every time, dog. But I been had them fucked up though. You just ain't catch it. Whew. How do this motherfucker?
since she got a ball, the nigga go to first state. I told her call the nigga, tell him break a forward. Had blow, so the nigga 138. I had a special saw, put the bitch in his face. Told him bug him a breast, nigga, that's real. Whole street count, kill before we get killed. Nigga gave me everything that he on though. Bitch that work now blowing no smoke. I really need some water, bro, for real. Yeah, you got more water than that George, bro.
Nah, I don't need nothing but a swallow beef. Yeah, that's it. Ooh, boys, you can tell, y'all can't tell?
All that shit you saying.